What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the LaserPecker CraftZone studio. I'm the host, Rex. How's everybody doing? You guys been doing good in the past 2 weeks? Because in today's live, it's going to be something special. Because a couple of days ago, we officially launched the LP5 Safeguard in Europe and in Germany. And that's why we adjust the live stream time a little bit different this round, just to show you guys the product, about its features, and what you can do with this product. And also different kind of project with different kind of capabilities. So the whole purpose is to show you the full demonstration of the LP5 Safeguard. So during the waiting time, I actually see some familiar faces here, from Lei and Marcos, and also different kind of viewers. I remember you guys from previous live stream. And what is up, Arthur? So what is up, guys? In today's live, I'm going to show you guys the LP5 Safeguard. But if you are not in those two areas, if you're not in Europe or in Germany, no worries, because you can still purchase the LP5 and choose the safety enclosure as the add-on. And at this point, we still have the spring sale that is going, which means you can actually save you some money during the spring sale. And plus, if you guys see at the bottom of this live, we do have a live stream only discount only for our viewers, and it's going to last for 48 hours. And I'm going to dive into the part later. So today's live, if you guys see the title, is called Spotlight Jewelry and Metal Engraving. So with that being said, in today's live, I'm going to show you guys how you can use the LP5 Safeguard to do different kind of metal engraving and also with different kind of jewelry. So whether you are, let's say, laser engraving enthusiast, or like jewelry designers, or like a small business owner, in today's live, I'm going to show you guys how you can turn your creativity into some straight up cash. All right. So with that being said, let me walk through the content of today's live. In today's live, we're going to have 3 sections. For first section, we're going to have 4 different kind of project. For the project number 1, I'm going to show you guys how you can use the LP5 to engrave a stainless steel heart-shaped necklace. And also we're going to use the camera. And also, if you guys didn't know, the safety enclosure is equipped with a camera inside. And with this camera, it's going to help you to improve your laser engraving workflow. It's going to help you to pinpoint the engraving area. And I'm going to show you guys how you can use that to improve your laser engraving experience. And plus, I'm going to show you how LaserPecker can get it done within seconds. So with that being said, you can do a multiple batch or do batch engraving and start to make you some cash. All right. So that's the project number 1. And then for the project number 2, I'm going to show you guys one of the main features of the camera, which is called the autofill. So let me briefly explain what exactly is autofill. So typically, when you try to do the batch engraving, right, the first thing you're going to do is you want to place all the materials on the base plate, and then you have to go to the LDS and import your file, and you have to manually adjust for the position of each material. And after that, when you go to preview, you will see these blue rectangle boxes and help you to determine where is the engraving area. But if you use one of these safety enclosure, you use the autofill, all you have to do is first place all the materials on the base plate, and then go to the LDS, which is the software, and try to take a snapshot, which is the photo, and then place one of the design onto the photo, which is the engraved materials, and then just click autofill, and it's going to automatically fill out all the materials for you. So in that case, it's going to save you some effort and save you some time. So in today's live, I'm going to show you guys how you can actually do that with the safety enclosure. Also, it's called the LP5 Safeguard. And then for the project 3, I'm going to show you guys how you can do a very detailed and exquisite photo engraving on titanium keychain. As you guys can see, we do have a couple of those right there, and I'm going to show you guys in a little bit later. And then last but not least, we're going to show you guys the accessory applications, which means I'm going to use the Rotary extension right here, as you guys can see. And I'm going to work with the safety enclosure to show you guys how you can do a laser engraving on stainless steel bracelet. And this time, we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to use 2 different kind of methods. For the method number 1, I'm going to show y'all how you can engraving on the outside of the bracelet. And then we're going to flip it over and show you guys how to engrave on the inside of the bracelet as well. So different kind of choices, depends on what kind of project you do and depends on your personal needs. All right, so that's the first part of today's live. And then for the second part of today's live, we're actually going to do a little bit different. Because since we're talking about small business, we do have a lot of customers from LaserPecker, and they purchase a machine to do different kind of project, and they went to different kind of offline shop, expos, and different kind of product fairs, and they're trying to customize some different kind of items for their customers, doing different kinds of customizations. And they use that to make them some good cash. So I'm gonna share their story with y'all, and also the photos, and also the great infos, things like that. And then we're gonna dive into the discount. I'm gonna show you guys how you can get 100 euros off or 5% off on LP5 when you purchase with the LaserPecker. I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. And last but not least, in today's slide, we're gonna have the third section. We're gonna have two winners. Each winner gonna receive the 8 pieces of the stainless bracelet. So those original price is gonna be $29 and $99. So we're gonna have two for those. And then for the second round of the lucky draw, we're gonna have two winners as well. And each winner gonna receive 140 pieces jewelry and metal materials pack from LaserPecker. And the original price of this material pack is around $100, and it comes with all kinds of different jewelries, guys. Comes with things like different kinds of bracelets, titanium keychain, also like a necklace, and different kinds of stuff. And all the materials I'm using in today's live, you can find that in the materials pack. So if you're interested, you can go to our website and check it out. And last but not least, the third round of the lucky draw, which is the grand prize of today's live. We're gonna have one winner, and this winner can choose between two different prizes. For the prize number one, this winner can choose a free LaserPecker safety enclosure, which is this machine right here. Or you can go with a 50% off discount coupon for the LP5. So what does that mean? That means pretty much you're spending the money for LP4, but instead you'll get the latest machine, which is the LP5. And I'm looking forward to see who's gonna win the grand prize of today's live stream. So don't forget, guys, hit the like and subs button and share this slide to your friends or other laser engraving enthusiasts you know, because each one of y'all have the chance to win the grand prize out of today's lucky draw. And also, I guarantee you guys, after today's live, you're gonna be a pro when it comes to jewelry engraving. All right. So without further ado, let's get straight into our first project. So I'm gonna show you guys what we're gonna do in the first project. So first thing first, I'm gonna show you guys how you can actually engraving on one of these necklaces. So if you guys can see, I do have a necklace right here, and it's in kind of like a heart-shaped design. And I'm gonna show you guys how you can use the safety enclosure and also the camera inside to help you to pinpoint the engraving area and help with your engraving workflow. All right. And before we start, guys, I want to show you guys some. So as you guys can see, I do have two different kinds of paper right here. One is in black and one's in yellow. And the reason I'm using this is I do want to have a contrast background when it comes to laser engraving when using the safety enclosure. Let me give you guys an example. So let's say I'm going to use this black titanium keychain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this yellow paper on the base plate first, and then I'm going to place this keychain onto the yellow paper. So in this case, it's going to be easier for the camera to capture the outline of the engraving materials. So please keep in mind to use a contrast colors of paper when it comes to use the enclosure. Most importantly, when you want to use the camera. So first, I'm gonna use this black one, all right? So I wanna open up the front door just to you guys to better understanding what I'm doing here. So first thing I'm gonna do is place this black sheet of paper onto the base plate. And then I'm gonna place this heart-shaped stainless steel necklace on top of the black paper. And I'm gonna sit it right in the middle. If you guys can see it. So once it's done, that's moving forward to the LDS. So first thing we're gonna do is, of course, we have to import a file first. So I'm gonna go to File, and I'm gonna put this file right here. And for this one, I'm gonna go with Fill. So I'm gonna select the file and go with Fill. All right. So adjust a little bit. And then before we do anything with the camera and the engraving parameters, we want to go to preview first. So go ahead and hit preview. And then at this point, I'm going to use the aluminum sheet to help me to determine whether it's in the correct focal distance. So basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place this sheet on top of my materials. And in this case, it's gonna help me to determine those two red dots. So you are gonna either raise the base plate or lower the base plate, depends on the thickness of your engraving material. So once you see those two red dots overlap on each other, that's when you know it's the correct focal distance. So once you found it, I'm not gonna take off the aluminum sheet and place the necklace right in the center. And then I'm gonna close both rear door and the front door. And let's move back to the LDS. So once you find the desired focal distance, I'm gonna go exit preview. And right here, you guys can see there are two different areas right here. This one is processing. So we wanna go to processing. So at this point, you can see the camera and you have to choose your desired template, which I pre-saved earlier. And if you do purchase one of these safety enclosure or the same LP5 Safeguard, you can see we do have a lot of tutorials in this YouTube channel to help you how to do the camera calibrations and also how you do the configurations for the camera as well. So if you do interested, please go ahead and watch those videos. And once you select the correct template, there's a retake button. I'm gonna click this, and then it's gonna take a photo in the inside of the safety enclosure. Basically, it's the photo on the base plate. So once it's done, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more, and in this case, you guys can see the necklace is right here. So sometimes you'll find out that the photo is kind of too bright, overexposure, or it's too dark. But no worries, you can always go to settings and go device settings. You can adjust the brightness right here. You guys can see at this point it's 21%. And for this one, let's say I'm gonna go with 62%. And then once you adjust the brightness, don't forget to retake a new snapshot. So I'm gonna click on retake. And this point, you can see actually the photo will start to brighten up. And I'm gonna zoom in and place design right on top of the materials here. And also, if you guys can see this, like a yellow arrow right here, you can drag this arrow to make it right angle on top of engraved materials. And I'm gonna make it a little bit more smaller. And I wanna place it right in the center. And you guys can also use the rotate features right here. If you see on the upper right corner, there's a rotate features, and you can type in the dial in the numbers as well. And also you can use the position with the X, Y value to adjust the position of your file. So in this case, I would say this is kind of in the center. And once you're done with the positions, now we're not going to the parameter settings. So I'm gonna click this file and go back to the laser engraving settings right here. So for this one, I'm gonna go as high as 8K for the resolutions and fiber lasers, which is 1064. Frequency, go with 60. One pass is enough. I'm gonna 10% for the power. You can go that 1 or 2% for the depth. It doesn't really matter. But there's something you have to keep in mind is when you go high for the resolution as 8K, it's gonna take longer. But since we only have this small design, so all it's gonna take is a couple seconds. So once you're done with all the settings and also just double check with all the laser engraving parameters, 1064, and then hit laser engraving to stop the project. And you guys can see how fast it actually can be done with this kind of project. It's a kind of small necklace, and all it's gonna take like a couple seconds, and you will finish the engraving process. So around like 5 seconds is actually done. So let me take it off from the safety enclosure and show you guys how it looks. So before I show you guys the product, I want to use this brush to brush off any dust from the surface. And let me use one of these to help you guys to see what it looks like. So please give it a close-up shot. Give me a second. Let me twist a little bit more. Yeah. is you guys see how I use the safety enclosure and the camera to help me to pinpoint engraving area. Because back in the day, when you use like a LP5 or LP4, you have to manually go to preview, right? And you can see those blue rectangle boxes to help you to find the engraving area. But if you use the safety enclosure with the camera, it's going to assist with your laser engraving workflow and save you some time and can help you to know where it is the engraving area. So that's how it looks. And as you guys see, only it's going to take a couple seconds to do this kind of projects since it's kind of small. And also you can do batch engraving with these. And with the next project, I'm going to use the camera to show the autofill, which is something about the batch engraving. So that's pretty much the first project. So the purpose is I want to show you guys how to use the safety enclosure with the camera to help you the laser engraving workflow. And the key point two is how it can actually be done within seconds with LP5 when it comes to jewelry and metal engraving. So without further ado, let's get straight into the second project. For the second project, like I mentioned in the very beginning, I want to show you guys how you can actually use the autofill to improve your batch engraving process. So before we start, in this case, I'm going to use this yellow paper right here. And the reason is because I'm going to show you guys how you can laser engrave all those black titanium keychain, right? So I'm going to place two of these. And the reason I'm going to use this is because to help camera to better capture the outline of the materials. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the front door and the rear door. I want to lower the stand a little bit more and place this paper right on the base plate, as you guys can see. From the circle right here, from the ring. So I'm going to place two of these on top of the base plate. So one goes in, and there goes for the second one. And before we start, guys, there are a couple key points I want to tell you guys if you do want to use the autofill. So key point number one, make sure you use a contrast background. For example, as you guys can see right here, right? You can see I use this yellow paper with the black titanium keychain to help the camera to easily capture the outline of the laser engraved materials. And the key point number two is you have to use the same shape of materials. In this case, I'm going to use in this rectangle shape titanium keychain. And the key point three is make sure you place materials neatly. As I show you guys right here, I place those keychain in the same directions. So it's going to help you to, and also help the camera to better capture and also do the autofill. All right, so with that being said, let's go back to the LDS. So for this one, I'm gonna delete the file, and then I'm gonna go to processing. And at this point, I don't need the camera, so I'm gonna remove the background. And for demonstration purpose, I'm gonna use the LaserPecker logo. So I'm gonna make it a little bit small and place right here. And just like the first one, let's go to preview first. So once you go to preview, I'm still gonna use the aluminum sheet and place on top of these titanium keychain and adjust the height of the base plate. So once you see those two red dots overlap on each other, that's when you know you find the correct focal distance. And there we go. And then I'm gonna remove the titanium sheet from the base plate, place both of these in the center, close up the rear door, and also the front door. And let's go back to LDS again. So exit preview first, and then we're gonna retake a new snapshot. And at this point, you can see how we take a photo on the faceplate, and you can see those two on black titanium. And see it is too bright, you can also go to device and settings and adjust for the brightness. So as you guys can see right now, it's around like 62, right? So I'm gonna drop it down all the way down to like 31. And after that, don't forget to retake a new snapshot. And then I'm going to place one of these. So let me zoom in first. And place one of these bird on top of the titanium keychain. And once it's placed in, you to go to the toolbar on the left. And right here, you can see the auto fill features. So I'm going to go ahead and click the fill now. And at this point, you guys can see how it automatically fill in all the materials for you, fill in all the files for you. Like back in the day, you had to manually adjust for all the materials, right? Especially when you do the batch engraving. But with the safety enclosure, this camera feature is going to help you with your batch engraving experiences. So let's select both of these, and I'm going to go to settings. And for this one, I'm still going to go with the fiber lasers and 8K for the resolutions, 60 for the frequency, 1 pass, and 5% for the power, 1 for the depth, and 1 pass only. So go ahead and click laser engraving and hit confirm. And then you're gonna start with the laser engraving process. And I see questions about how about go. Actually, on our website, especially on LP5, we do have a list about what kind of materials you can engrave or cut with the LP5. So basically, you can do silver, you can do titanium, and stainless steel. You can do copper, and also there's a couple different kinds of metals as well. So I can't remember all of them. But if you go to our website, and the link is gonna in the description box, you can see different kinds of materials that LP5 can be done when it comes to metal. All right, it's not to engraving, you can also cut through metal as well. As the final product. So I'm going to grab 2 of these. Please give it a close-up shot. So let me twist around a little bit more to show you guys how it looks on both sides. All right. So if you go as high as up to like 8K resolutions, you guys can see you do have a better engraving results. And also with the auto fill features, it's going to help you with the batch engraving processing. So that's pretty much for the first and the second project. And without further ado, why don't we start with the first round of today's lucky draw? So for the first round of today's lucky draw, we're gonna have 2 winners, and each winner is gonna receive these 8 pieces of stainless steel bracelets. And the original price on this material is gonna be $29.99. But before we start, I wanna go through the rules since there might be some new viewers in our live stream. So rule number 1. Each winner can only win 1 prize. I mean, each viewer can only win 1 prize per live stream. And rule number 2 is you have to subscribe and become our subscriber in order to join the live stream. So if you haven't, please go ahead and hit the like and sub button. And rule number 3 is once I announce the keyword, you have to type in the keyword in the chat. So in that way, the system is going to capture your name and help you to get into the lucky draw. So the keyword for the first round of lucky draw is going to be small business, which is SMB. So please go ahead and type in SMB in the chat, and we're going to have 2 winners in the first round of the lucky draw. So I'm not going to give you guys some time. So type in SMB to see it. Yes. The keyword for the first round of the lucky draw is SMB, and we're gonna have 2 winners in the first round of the lucky draw. So in 10 seconds, I'm gonna start with the first round of lucky draw. So please go ahead and type in the keyword in the first round. And after the first round, we're gonna have 2 more rounds. So you guys ready? In 5 seconds, I'm gonna start with the lucky draw in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. So we're gonna have the first winner, and the first winner is Curitiba. So congratulations, you just received the 8 pieces of the stainless steel bracelet. And please go ahead and contact us at services@laserpecker.com and to claim your prize. And keep on typing, guys, because we're gonna have the second winner in the first round. And I do see from the comments people asking about what is the engraving parameters for those stainless steel. So for the first two projects, I'm gonna use two different kind of settings. For the first one, which is the stainless steel necklace, I'm gonna go with fiber lasers, which is 1064 and 8K for the resolutions, 10% for the power, 1 or 2% for the depth, and 1 pass. And then for the second product, which is the titanium keychain, I use fiber laser as well, 8K for the resolutions, 5% for the power, 1% for the depth, and 1 pass. So in 5 seconds to start with the second winner. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's see who's the winner of the second round of the lucky draw. And the winner is of gonna be Ella. So congratulations for those two winners. Please go ahead and contact us at services@laserpecker.com to claim your prize. So I want to thank each one of you to join the first round of lucky draw. If you didn't win the prize, we're still gonna have 2 more rounds. So please stay tuned and join us till the end. All right. So without further ado, let's get straight into the third project. So in the third project, I'm gonna show you guys how you can actually get a very detailed and exquisite photo engraving on this silver titanium keychain. So let me take it off from the rings first. And then just like what I did in the first project, I'm gonna use this black paper and place on top of the base plate. So let me open up the front door and place this on top of the base plate. And then I'm gonna place one of these, which is the silver titanium keychain in the center. Let's go back to the LDS. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place in a new file, which is this one, the music keychain. And something you guys have to know, when you place a new file, it's gonna go to a new page of project, which the first one you see untitled is from the first and second project. And this one is from the music keychain. So whenever you start a new project, you have to take the snapshot one more time. It's gonna automatically refresh. So in this case, if you do wanna use the safety enclosure camera features, go ahead and take new snapshot in this case. So before we do anything else, we want to go to preview first to find the focal distance, just like the previous engraving steps. So still gonna place those on top of it. And I think it's the exact same focal distance since our last project is the same material in different colors. So that's pretty much it. And take off the aluminum sheet, and place back the materials. I'm gonna close up the rear door and the front door. And now let's go back to the LDS. So I'm gonna go exit preview. And then let's go back to the file. So as you guys can see right here, we do have the whole file here. So I'm gonna go and ungroup first. And in this case, you guys can see from the normal layers right here, we're gonna have 2 different elements. And the reason is because this file right here, the first part is gonna be a picture. So if you go to effect, you can see it's in endearing mode, right? And then for the second part, this part right here, it's kind of look like a music software user interface, right? But this one is in fill. So I'm gonna show you guys how you can do different kind of files. One is endearing and one is fill, and set up with different kind of engraving settings in one pass, all right? So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna select the photo, go to effect, and make sure you check the invert feature. And the reason is because when you try to laser engrave on like silver titanium keychain, you have the invert feature, so it's gonna come out nice looking. And then we're gonna select both of these, and I'm gonna group them together. And once I group those 2 elements together, you can see in the normal layer, it becomes one group. But if I click on arrow right here, you can still see there are 2 elements right under the same layer, but it's in 2 different kinds of files. For example, right here, you can see one is in fill and the other one is in pictures. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up the engraving parameters first. So for the fill part, I'm gonna go with 4K solutions. Still gonna use the fiber lasers and 60 for the frequency, 50% for the power, and 2% for the depth, and one pass only. And then gonna pictures, I'm gonna go as high as up to 8K as well. 5 lasers, 60 frequency, one pass, and 10% for the power, 3% for the depth. And that's pretty much it. That's the engraving parameters. So once we set up for the order engraving parameters, we're gonna use the camera to help us. So I'm gonna go back to the processing. So you guys can see it right here. And then I'm hit the retake, a new snapshot. So as you guys can see right here on the left side is the file I'm using. And on the right side is the snapshot inside the safety enclosure. And in the middle, you guys can see this silver titanium keychain. So I'm gonna zoom in a little more and I'm gonna resize this file to make sure it is in the correct size. And I'm gonna use this circle here to rotate a little bit more. And I'm gonna make it a little bit larger and place it right in the center. So you can play around a little bit more to try to correct engraving areas. So in this case, I'm gonna go with this. And right now, you see it is in the desired engraving area. And I do set up for all the engraving settings. So let's go ahead to laser engraving. Hit laser engraving, hit start to start the process. As I mentioned earlier, when you're trying to laser engrave on metals, you can go as high as up to 8K. But keep in mind though, the higher you go with the resolution, the longer it's going to take. And in this case, we're engraving a very detailed and exquisite photo, so it's going to take a little bit longer. So since we're waiting, guys, I want to show you guys how LaserPecker customers use our machine to help them to make some good cash. So we got 3 different kinds of customers, 3 kind of examples. For the customer number 1, which is example number 1. So we're going to show you guys a couple pictures of how they product out different kind of design. So please go to the first one. So in this one is from Space Dock Boutique. So I'm gonna give a big shout out to Space Dock Boutique, and also they do provide me some texts to help you guys to understand. So they say another show, more products displayed. Finished up another show last weekend, Eastern Kentucky Outdoor Expo. Different crowd than we are used to, but we greatly appreciate the local fire department for making up 50% of our sales with custom is engraved tumblers. And they say display more of what we can engrave than the previous shows and engrave more samples in between customers' orders and all products engraved with the LP4. Most we can engrave inside. Flat coasters are made to order since they take longer. So those pictures you guys can see, they do have different kind of products. For example, they have like stack coasters, some letters, and also some glasses, some wooden materials, different kind of parts. And they do join different kind of shows. And during the last live stream, I also showed an example from the Space Dock Boutique. So during the 2024 Christmas time, they also went to a Christmas shop to join the fair as well. And they do some customizations and make some good cash for them. All right, so that's the first example. And let's move forward for the second one. So for the second one is from Mia Julian. So big shout out to Mia Julian. And here's what they sent to us. So they say day 1 of engraving 400 wine glasses with my LaserPecker LP5. I figure I will share my process in case anyone else could use it. Due to my customer, I can't show the finished result just yet. But here's how we did the first 2 boxes of the 17th day in less than 3 hours with steps on the pictures. Each glass takes around 3 to 4 minutes to engrave, and since we're remaining our stations while it's engraving, this entire order will be finished in approximately 2 to 3 hours. The customer paid for the glasses, and I'm charging 10 euros, which is around like $10.60 USD per glass with a 20% bulk discount. So in total, I get 3,200 euro, which is around like 3,388 US dollars, which I'm more than happy with since physical items are only a side gig for me. The spray gun, paint, rubber bands comes down to approximately €50 in total expenses. And then there's electricity and water, which isn't a lot. I bought my LaserPecker LP2 as a backup offer on Kickstarter for $900, which is 900 US dollars. So this little machine has definitely proved its worth. So during those photos, you guys can see how they customize like a couple hundred of wine glasses within 3 hours and actually making some great money. They're actually making around like 3,200 euros, which is around like 3,400 USDs in 3 hours, guys. So that's another example of how customers doing some different kind of customizations for their customers and making some good cash. So another example of a small business. And then moving forward to the last one, which is the third example. So for the third one, we have Speed Laser Studio. So big shout out to Speed Laser Studios. They say such a dreamy theme. Work with Nina to engrave this beautiful baby blue flask for a celebration. So they use the LP4 to engraving some baby blue flags for celebrations. And you guys can see it's actually comes with all the details and it's pretty much an exquisite design with those flags. So those three examples to show you guys how our customers use our machine and help them to make some good cash. All right. So I hope those infos and pictures give you guys some ideas about how you can start with your own laser engraving business. So while we're waiting, guys, I want to show you guys a different thing. So let's go back to my laptop because I want to show you guys on my website how you can find the LP5 Safeguard. So if you go to our website, and all the links is gonna be in the description box. So if you go to the EU side, you can see the LaserPecker Safeguard, and you can see all the features, descriptions, the price and stuff. And if you go to the Germany side, you can see the LP5 Safeguard as well. And plus, if you're not in Europe or in Germany, no worries, because if let's say if you are in United States, you can go to our website and find the LP5. And if you keep scrolling down, you can see you can actually choose the safety enclosure as the add-on. And at this point, we still have the spring sale that is going, which means you can save 30% off when you purchase the LP5 with the safety enclosure. And plus, guys, during today's live, we have a live-only discount code. So if you guys see, please use the LP2025 when you're checking out. You can get 100 euros off when you purchase the LaserPecker LP5 Safeguard. And if you're not in those two areas, you can get a 5% off on the LP5 when you purchase with the safety enclosure. And this discount code is only for 48 hours. So if you do want to invest one of these machines, the LP5 Safeguard in 2025, and start with your own laser engraving business as a side job or as a career, please take advantage of the next 48 hours, guys. So while we're talking, guys, we actually finished with the laser engraving process. So let's go ahead to see how it looks. So I'm gonna place this finished product right here, just to show you guys how it looks. All right, can you guys see it? So this one on the right, I'm gonna twist it a little bit more. And there we go. So this one right here, this one on the right, this one is from LP4. And this one right here on my hand is from the LP5. So the idea is you can use different kind of machine and still have a great result. So this one is from LP4. It's gonna be a different settings and it's come out a little bit different. And for this one, which is what I made right now from the LP5, you can see it's kind of comes with the different colors. It's kind of more bright colors when it comes to on the photos. All right. So different kind of designs and different kind of machines. And also, I know the camera is kind of overexposure, so I do want to show you one of these pictures. So let me show my laptop. So if I use my laptop, you guys can see I do have these examples from CraftZone. So if you guys didn't know what is CraftZone, CraftZone is basically a community from LaserPecker, and the links is going to be in the description box. And this photo right here is what I just showed you from the LP4. So it's kind of different kind of effect. It's kind of music and keychain. And if you go to the LP5, you can see it's kind of more bright colors when it comes to on the photos. All right. So And when I'm done with the LP5, it comes with much more bright kind of effect. So different kind of effect and different kind of machines. And also on CraftZone, guys, you can find all the laser engraving parameters as well. You can see they use 4K and also 70% for the power, 40% for the depth, run past, and use the fiber laser. And right here, see the files, and you can open this file in LTS or download the file for free. All right. So this project is called Valentine's Day Music Keychain. So if you go to CraftZone and search for this project, you will find this page right here. And the link to the CraftZone is right in the description box. All right. So that's basically how it looks for these products. And let's go ahead and start with the second round of today's lucky draw. All right. So for the second round of today's lucky draw, we're gonna have two winners as usual. And for the second round of lucky draw, each winner gonna receive the 40 pieces, different kinds of jewelry and materials pack. And the original price of this material bags is around $100. So we're gonna have two winners for the second round of the lucky draw. So here's the rules. And rule number one, like I mentioned earlier, you have to subscribe us to enable to join the lucky draw. So if you haven't, please do hit the like and subs button. And rule number two is each viewer can only win one prize per live stream. So in this case, we can make sure each one of y'all can have the chance to win something out of live stream. And rule number three is once I announce the keyword, you gotta type in the keyword in the chat so our system will capture your name. All right. So the keyword for the second round of lucky draw is gonna be profit, because when we're trying to do the small business, it's all about profit, right? So please type in PROFIT in the chat, and we'll see who will be those two winners when it comes to the second round of the lucky draw. And like I mentioned earlier, so this LP5 Safeguard just launched a couple of days ago in Europe and also in Germany. And also there's a lot of benefits when it comes to this product. So the things number one is it's not going to take up a lot of spaces. So usually if you do have like a very big and heavy laser engravers, it can take up a lot of space. It's kind of hard for you to move from places to places, right? But with the LP5 Safeguard, or you can call it safety enclosure, not heavy, so you can actually move this product from, let's say, your office or to your home or your studio, and you can actually take the LP5 with you. So it's going to take up a lot of spaces as well. So in 5 seconds, we're going to start with the second round of lucky draw, and we'll see who's the winner in the first round. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. And the winner of the first one is going to be Jerome. So congratulations, you just received the 40 pieces of the materials pack. So please go ahead and contact us at services@laserpecker.com to claim your prize. And we're going to have a second winner, guys. So no worries. So keep on typing on the profit. We will see who's going to be the second winner. And plus, guys, at the end of today's live, we're going to have a Q&A session. So if you do have questions about the LP5 or the LP5 Safeguard, about how you use it, what kind of different features, or you do have questions about different kind of machines, I can answer all you guys' questions in the Q&A round. And also in 5, 4, how many people is that? In 3, 2, 1, and go. The second winner is going to be Pedro. Pedro is that how you say it? But congratulations for those two winners. Please contact us at services@laserpecker.com to claim your prize, all right? So for those of you who didn't win the prize, no worries, we're going to have one more round. And the last round is going to be the ultimate prize of today's live stream. So stay tuned and join us till the end, all right? And with that being said, let's go ahead and start with the first project of today's live. So in this project, I'm going to show you guys how you can use the accessories we got from LaserPecker in doing different kind of projects. So in this case, I do have one of these rotary extension here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to engrave on those black titanium black stainless steel bracelets. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attach this bracelet onto the rotary extensions. And in this time, I'm gonna do two different kind of methods. I apologize, I just got started. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna engraving on the outside of the bracelet. And then we're gonna flip it over and try to engrave on the inside of the bracelet as well. So before we put it on, I do have a caliper right here. If you guys do have one of these, you can use this. If you don't, you can just use the measuring tape to measure the diameter of the bracelet. So for the first project, I'm gonna engrave in the center, which is this part. So I'm gonna measure this part diameter. So use the caliper and place on top of this part. So it's around like 52.4, around that, if you guys can see it. It's 52. I moved a little bit, but it's 52.4. All right, so we're gonna remember that number because we're gonna type in the LDS. And then I'm gonna attach the bracelet onto the Rotary chuck. So make sure it is securely pinned on top of the Rotary chuck. So once it's secure, I'm gonna use the hex key here to make sure it is nice and tight and it's not gonna lose during the engraving process. So once it's tightly secured, I'm gonna release the knob, and here's a second knob. I wanna set it to 90 degrees angle. So I'm gonna take it from here and place back and use the hex key one more time and to tighten the adjustment knob right here. So as you guys can see, that's how it looks. And then let's go back to the machine. So let me open up the front door and the rear door. So if you guys first receive safety enclosure, when you open the rear door, you will see left down corner, there's a sticker right there and it says accessory. So that one is for you to connect the accessory cables with all your accessories. So I do have this right here and I connect before the live stream. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lower the stand and then place in the rotary extension. And then I'm gonna connect the cable with extensions and place right on top of the base plate. And stuck in the cable. And then let's go back to the LDS. So for this one, I'm gonna start with the new project. So I'm gonna go to files and you guys can see there's a new project. And like I mentioned earlier, whenever you start a new project, the snapshot will disappear. And if you do want to use the camera feature, you have to retake a new snapshot. So for this one, before we do any kind of settings, you have to go to settings, go to mod settings, and make sure you check the rotary extension features right here. So make sure it is on. And then we're gonna type in the diameter right here. Yes, remember we measured the diameter previously before we place in the rotary extension into the safety enclosure. So for this one, it's roughly around like 52.5 for the diameter. And then I'm gonna go with text. And I'm gonna type in some stuff right here. So if you guys do have some ideas, let me know, because I'm gonna go with, let's say, represent. So Rex represent. And I'm gonna go to fonts and choose a different kind of design. I'm gonna go with, let's say this one. And I'm gonna lock right here. Adjust the height and the width a little bit to the size of your bracelet. So I'm gonna go with 4. And I'm gonna place this right here. And for the settings for this kind of project, I'm gonna go with fiber lasers. 60 for the frequency, has only 10% for the power and 1% for the depth. And let's go ahead and hit preview. So once you go to preview, guys, in this case, as you guys can see, we're trying to engraving on a very thin bracelets. So I'm gonna use the aluminum sheet to help me to find the focal distance. So I'm gonna go to the front. So you guys can see it. I'm gonna place one of these on top of the bracelet. So in this case, it's gonna help me to see where are those two red dots. So you can lower or raise the stand, depends on those two red dots. So right there is the correct focal distance. If you guys can see those two red dots right there. And then I'm gonna take off the sheet and I can move this a little bit more to help me to find the engraving area. So at this point, you guys can see there's a little blue line right on top of the place plate. I adjust the position of the rotary extensions to help me to find the engraving area. So at this point, I can see there's a little blue line right on the top. So once I see that, I can go to LDS and hit continue, and it's gonna rotate to show me where exactly is the engraving area. So I just hit engraving area, and then you can adjust a little bit more to figure out where exactly is the engraving area on the bracelet. So I'm gonna hit continue one more time. So once you find the correct engraving area, you're gonna close up both doors, close up the front and the rear. And I already set up the engraving parameters, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit next to start the engraving process. And for this kind of project, it's usually not gonna take too long because we do have a small of those stainless steels. And for all the materials I use next time, you can all find on our website. It's all from the 40 pieces of the jewelry and metal materials pack, which is what we have for the second round of the lucky draw. All right, it's actually done. All it's gonna take is a couple seconds. So, oops, that's almost dropped. Let me close up the door first, and let me show y'all how it looks as the final product. Yep, it's in the correct directions. So, oops, hold on, let me hold it with this hand. Can you guys see it? Yeah, it says Rex represents right in the centers. So you can choose different kind of fonts and different size. And if you guys do have your own design, you can use your own fonts as well. All you have to do is import in LDS, and you can get your own design, and you can engrave your name or your customer's names right on the bracelet. So that's how it looks for this one. And I just show you guys how you can engrave on the outside of the bracelets. And then I'm gonna take it off and attach this one more time because I want to show you guys how you can engrave on the inside of the bracelets right here. So in this case, I'm gonna hold it from the outside because for the first one we did, right, we grip this in the inside. That's the reason is because we tried to engrave on the outside of the bracelet, but since this round we're gonna use the inside of the bracelet, I'm gonna put it right here. You guys can see it, right? And then just like earlier, I'm gonna use this to tighten knob and make sure it is gripped tightly during engraving process, and it's not gonna fall off. And then, just like what we did in previous, we're gonna place this rotary extension on top of the face plate, open up both front and rear door. And I'm gonna go to the LDS. So when it comes to engraving on the inside of the bracelet or a ring, because we do have receive a lot of questions, comments about, hey, I want to engrave on the inside of the ring or bracelet, how am I supposed to do it? So the only difference is when you try to engrave on the inside, make sure you flip your file. So you want to select your file, and on the toolbar on top, you can see there's a flip, and you want to go flip horizontal. So if you're not flip horizontal, your file is gonna come out in opposite direction. So that's not something you want. So make sure you flip horizontal before you start your laser engraving process. And then I'm gonna still go with the same diameter because pretty much the outside and inside is pretty much the same diameter. But But if you do have a very thick of a bracelet, you have to use the caliper to measure the inside of the bracelet one more time. So in this case, it's pretty much the same, but I'm gonna go with a different kind of settings. And for this one, I'm gonna still go with pretty much everything the same, but I'm gonna go with 30% for the power, 5% for the depth. And the reason is because on the outside of the bracelet, it has a coating on it, but the inside it's not. So it's pretty much same materials, but still a little bit different. And that's why I'm gonna use two different settings when it comes to engraving on the outside and the inside. So it's gonna be a little bit different right there. And still, we're gonna go to preview, and just like what I did in the previous engraving, I still want to use this sheet right here to find the correct focal distance. So the only difference is I'm gonna place this sheet at the bottom of this base plate right here, and then I'm gonna raise the base plate until those two red dots overlap on each other. There we go. At this point, you guys can see it is right overlap on top of each other. So that's how you determine it is the correct focal distance. And then you can go back to the LDS, and like what we did in the previously, you can hit continue to find the correct engraving area. So I'm gonna move this a little bit more. And once I see this little blue line on the top, that's how I realize it is on the correct engraving area. And then close up the front and the rear door. And go to next and start with the laser engraving process. So what's going to happen is you're going to transmit the file first and then start with the laser engraving process. And like I mentioned earlier, if you guys do want to start with your own laser engraving business, whether it's going to be a side job or you want to make it become a career, you can always invest in one of our laser packing machine. You can go with LP from all the way to LP1 to LP5, and plus at this point we have the LP5 Safeguard. So let me take it off and show you guys how it looks. There we go. So I'm gonna use this brush to brush it off, and I'm still gonna use this paper right here to show y'all how the inside look. So if you guys can see it, it's called Rex Represents on the inside. And since I flipped horizontal, you can see now it's in the correct directions. Right? And there we go. In this angle, you guys can see it. It's on the inside. So it's pretty much the same concept if you try to engrave a ring or bracelet. But the only difference is this kind of bracelets comes with the open design, right? The bottom part is open. But if you do want to engrave a closed design of a ring or bracelet, all you have to do is adjust the angle of the rotary extension. So normally the angle of the rotary extension is in 90 degrees, right? Well, but once you attach those bracelets, you can raise up a little bit more. So in this case, the laser can go down engraving on the inside of the ring or like a close-up design bracelet. So that's how you can get a design on the inside of a bracelet. All right. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much all the projects of today's live. So we do show you guys 4 different projects. So just a little recap. For the first project, I show you guys how you can actually engraving on those stainless steel necklace, and show you guys how you can use the camera to help you to pinpoint the engraving area, and also how fast it actually can be done just within seconds with the LP5 safeguards. And then for the second project, I show you guys how you can use the autofill to do the batch engraving way more faster when it comes to use the camera with the safety enclosure, aka the LP5 safeguard. And for the third one, I show you how you can do a very detailed and also exquisite design when it comes to this titanium keychain, and when you're trying to engraving a photo right on the top. And last but not least, I show you guys how you can use a rotary extension to engraving on the inside of the bracelet and also on the outside of the bracelet as well. So I hope this gives you guys some insights and ideas how you can actually do some jewelry engraving or metal engraving. I hope this help you guys. But before you guys go, guys, we still have the last round of lucky draw. Before we start the lucky draw, don't forget, guys, we still have this discount code for the LP5 Safeguard, which is LP2025. This code is valid for the next 48 hours. So please take advantage of this discount code and take 100 euros off when it comes to checking out with your LP5 Safeguard. And if you're not in Europe or Germany, you can still get a 5% off on the LP5 when you purchase with the safety enclosure. And the best part of this deal, guys, you can use this discount code on top of spring sale. So during the spring sale and also use the discount code, which means it's going to be discount on top of discount. So make sure you take advantage of this discount code from the LaserPecker live streaming studio. All right. So for the last round of the lucky draw, we're gonna have one winner. For this winner, he or she can use a free LaserPecker safety enclosure or 150% off LP5 discount coupon from this round of lucky draw. So we're gonna have one winner. So the rule is how it works. Rule number one: please do hit the like and subscription buttons and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And rule number two is each winner can only receive one prize for a live stream. Rule number three is once I announce the keyword, please go ahead and type in the keyword in the chat. And that way you'll be successfully into the lucky draw. So the keyword is going to be safeguard. So please type in SAFEGUARD, which is safeguard in the chat. And we're going to have one winner in the last round of the lucky draw, which is going to be the grand prize of today's live. So please go ahead, type in safeguard. So if you didn't win the prize in the previous lucky draw, now is the chance, guys. Now is the best shot to win one free LaserPecker safety enclosure or a 50% off coupon on the LP5. And after this round of the lucky draw, we're gonna have the Q&A sessions. If you do have questions about LP5, about the safety safeguard or other machines or materials, you can go ahead and shoot your questions. I'm gonna give you guys 10 more seconds, and we're gonna start with the last round of the lucky draw. So we got more than 20 people, I think. So last 5 more seconds, guys. So in 5 seconds, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go. And the grand winner of today's live stream is gonna be, it's called Mr. Best, right? I can't see the last part because it's getting away, but anyway, congratulations for Mr. Best. You just received the ultimate prize of today's live stream. You can choose between LaserPecker safety enclosure, or you can choose the 50% off discount coupon on the LP5. So please go ahead and contact us at services@laserpecker.com. Okay, so that's pretty much all the contents and all the lucky draws in today's live stream. And in the next couple minutes, if you guys do have questions, go ahead and bring your questions, and we're ready to answer questions. Because we do have the tech guy right here, and he's gonna help me and help you guys to answer your questions. Let's go, Mr. Best A. Congratulations. If you didn't win a prize, no worries, because we're gonna have more live streams in the future. All you have to do is stay tuned and join the live stream every single time, because you will win your prize eventually, right? So if you guys do have any questions, now we're gonna spend a couple minutes to answer your questions. If you do have questions about the LP5 Safeguard, about the features, the cameras, and what kind of materials and what kind of project you can do, now's your chance to bring your questions. I see a question from Lei. Have you been able to provide details on color laser engraving? Actually, we are preparing some short videos in the past couple of weeks. We actually have a couple of the color engraving short videos. And we actually plan to do color engraving along a full guide, like tutorials, like a long tutorials on this YouTube channel. So we're trying to figure that out and provide as much as details for you when it comes to laser engraving or like let's say color engraving. And we're also trying to test out for different kind of machines as well. You can do the color engraving with the LP5, LP4. I think you can do with the LP3 as well. But I'm pretty sure you can do with the 4, 5. It's just going to come out with different kind of effects. I see question from Andrea. A camera will come for LP2. Is that means is the safety enclosure is going to compatible with the LP2? Is that what you're trying to ask? So at this point, the safety enclosure is compatible with the LP5, and actually we're trying to working on how to make it compatible with the LP4. So as soon as we do have the latest information, we'll let you guys know. Still question from Hook. I would love to see a future live stream for cutting metal and deep engraving. And I know that would be a longer stream. No worries, guys. We can actually, of course, we can do it like a long videos or live stream about how you can do some cutting on metals. Actually, in the past week, one of our colleagues is preparing doing some cutting on coppers, right? So she actually made a pretty good results and prepare some videos in the future. So we can actually consider doing those one of these live stream, how you do the laser cutting when it comes to metals, and also how you can do deep engraving and also 3D grayscale embossing. I was planning to do one of these kind of live stream to show you guys how you can prepare from getting your file and all the way to your results. I see from question from Ella. Can you please explain the range of frequency settings and why they are different for different materials and projects? So when it comes to frequency, at this point, the frequency is only work with comes to like fiber laser, right? So the range of the frequency is from 26 all the way up to 60. So let me give you a brief explanation of how it works. If you want to do some cutting on metal, because fiber laser can only cut metals, right? If you want to cut like wooden materials or like a laser, you want to use the dial laser. But if you want to use the fiber laser to cut the materials, you want to go as low as to 26, go to the lowest with the frequency. But if you do want to like laser engraving one of these kind of project, like I showed you guys for the third project, kind of like a detail and exquisite photo engraving. You want a more detail in the results, like a photo or like a field image. You want to go up as high as to 60. But keep in mind, though, the higher you go, the longer it's gonna take. So if you do want a very detailed, like you're trying to do photo engraving, go all the way up to 60. If you try to cut some metals, go as low to 26. I see question from Hook. That would be great for LP4 for using like enclosure. Of course, we are trying to figure it out, and as soon as we do have the latest information, we'll let everybody know. So I see a question from Pedro. When is the LX1 going to be available again? So from last year, we actually have a last sale on LX1. If you guys do know, we have like a special discount code, and also we have a last sales. But at this point, I haven't have the latest information about the LX1. But if we do, we will let you guys know if we bring back the LX1 on the way. I see a question from Joe. I'm very interested in copper engraving. Of course, we do prepare a video. It's actually done, just haven't posted yet. We do engraving on copper, and then we cut it out. So we use the LP5 to engraving on copper and also do the metal copper. So please stay tuned, and we will post the videos, I think, in the next couple of days. Question from Laura. What are the parameters for the gold? So I haven't tried to engraving on gold yet because we all know that's kind of expensive metal. So spend some good money to purchase those kind of materials. So to be honest, myself, I haven't done the test, but I do remember from one of the R&D team, they do test out on gold before. So I can go ahead and ask them like what kind of parameters they're using and how it looks. So if you do want different kind of parameters, please go ahead and join the Facebook group, because in LP5 Facebook group. You guys can find me there as administrators. You can shoot me questions. Just send me a DM with questions, and once I figure it out, I'll reply back to you. When will be the will the LX1 come back? At this point, I'm not so sure, but if it do, I will let you guys know. I want to produce engraved rocks for celebration of life. Pretty much you want to engrave on slack coasters, right? That's what you're trying to do. We actually have a lot of videos on how to engraving on slack coasters on, CraftZone. If you go to CraftZone, you will see some of tutorials. And I believe on some of the short videos in this YouTube channel, we also engraving on slack coasters, if that's what you're asking about. Question from Mac: is there an option in the application to save the parameters, including the frequency for the LP5? Actually, if you do have, let's bring back to LP4. If you do have LP4, you can save the files because the LP4 comes with the LCD touchscreen, right? You can transfer the file from a laptop into the LP4, and that way you can find your save file. But with the LP4, actually, you can find the engraving history, right? So when you use the software on the laptop, or if you use the app on the cell phone, you can go with the settings. If you go to the down corners, right corners, you can see there's a person's icon, right? If you click on that one, you can actually see some engraving histories to help you to find the kind of save the parameters, if that makes sense. I see from Ella, is there an option to remove the calibration profiles that don't work for us, as it defaults Enclosure? It's gonna come with one default settings, which is called the LP5 templates. But we recommend you, when you first receive the safety enclosure, try to build up your own templates. Because sometimes during shipment, the machine is the camera is kind of shaking during the process. So that's why it might cause the default settings. The LP5 template is not accurate. So we recommend you to start your own settings and try to build up one of your own camera's template. And we do have the tutorials in the YouTube channel. So please go ahead and search camera calibrations. And in that tutorial, show you how you can save your template and build your template for your safety enclosure. So in that way, you can make sure it is accurate every time you use the template. And also, you can use the template seamlessly different platforms. For example, you can use on a software like the Windows, and also you can go with the Android cell phone or like iOS cell phone. Once you save the template, you can always find it. Can we have a one-to-one lesson? I don't know how to use the LDS, from Laura. So if you do have questions about how to use the software, actually in this channel, we have a lot of tutorials of how to use all the way from LP1 to LP5, and comes with different tutorials. And we do have a simple tutorials from how you can connect your machine to the software, and also how you set up the parameters, how to preview. We do have a lot of steps of showing you how you can use this software, which is the LaserPecker Design Space. If you do have further questions, you can go to join the LP4 or LP5 Facebook group chat, and you can find me there as administrators, and you can send me a DM, and I can assist you better in that way. Can I remove the standard LaserPecker template, please? I think the standard template is not removable, but you can save a new template in the LDS. Because every time you can choose your own template, the original template is not going to affect you when you're trying to engrave. So last question, I'm going to have one more questions, and I'll call it today. Well, Ella, is it possible calibration to the iOS app? There's our other team member doesn't have a laptop, so it makes it difficult for us to, I can't see the lot spot, but I pretty much know what you're trying to say. Can you do the calibration on the software? So basically, at this point, if you do want to do the camera calibration, you have to use a laptop. But I don't think you can use cell phone to do it. So the best way and most accurate way is to use software on LTS. So maybe you can like bring a laptop and your colleague and try to set up a new template for him. All right. So appreciate for all you guys' questions. I do receive a lot of questions. If you guys do have more questions, you can leave in the comment of this live, and I will get back to you later. Or best way is if you go to the link, join the Facebook chat, LP4 and LP5. You can find me, Rex. My name is Rex. You can find me as an administrator, and send me a DM. I can assist you better. All right. So before you guys go, don't forget to take advantage of the discount code, which is the LP2025. And as always, my name's Rex. I will see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Bye-bye.